Your son Ben has autism. You've become a very prominent voice in recent times speaking out about autism. What was that process like for you, going from first recognizing, realizing something may be wrong, to identifying it was indeed autism?
Yeah, it was a difficult period for us, for the whole family, my wife, myself, and Samantha. We knew something was not quite right with Ben, and it took quite a while, only till after he was 2-3 years old maybe that we find out, what he had, and with all the clever people in the world, we basically found out ourselves through the internet, through, researching, autism, and then asking other people and asking other parents, what the symptoms were like and how their kids were like and so forth, and really taught ourselves more about what autism was all about, even before they diagnosed him with autism. So it was a bit of a rough time, like any other family whose kid has autism. The shock that comes through, and then the disappointment, and then you got to find your way forward, and we went through that whole process.
And what was that emotional roller coaster like for you, that I would imagine at some point was just feeling sorry for yourself?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the human reaction, I guess. But luckily I have a very strong wife, and she took it head on, myself, and just basically started, just crawling, before we could walk. Now we know so much more about it, and we have a great dream that we want to build. We want to build this Center for Excellence for autistic children right through to the age of 21, because to the age of 14 now there's facilities for these kids, but after that there's not much for them where they can go. So we want to have a facility where these kids can stay and even work, and have the science at the facility, and the worldwide interaction with people around the world, where we can teach them and we can learn from them. And if we can get this center built, I think more of them can go around the world, and really start making it a lot easier for parents and families to come to grips with it.
And how has the research for autism progressed from when you first identified that he had it, and expectations for the short term with regards to the research?
Well, I think we're good friends with the Wright family, and they run Autism Speaks, and they've been involved with this disease for over 20 years now, and we work with them quite closely, where we fund the science to get into to see why autism happens in families, whether it's in the DNA. A lot of us, we believe that it could be in the family history, in the family tree. So we're trying to figure that one out. The flu shots it's been a very big talking point. I believe there is something to it, but I don't think that is the cause of autism. I think these kids are born with this disability, with this brain malfunction for some reason, and I think it's in the gene. And this is just me talking, but I think with further science, we'll get to why this happens.
And you actually moved from England to Florida because of the fact that there was better treatment there for your son Ben, I believe. How did the idea for the Center of Excellence come about?
Well, exactly that. We obviously know America so well, and we just felt it was so much easier for Ben's education was to come to America, because it's better here, and to raise money and to build this facility was always going to be easier here than it would be in Europe, and that was the reason why we came here.
We were talking about your son. What type of therapy is he involved in?
We've got a couple, a South African couple, who basically, before he went to school even, used to or taught him, all kinds of stuff, with the programs that they have for him. She goes to school with him, to the autistic school he goes to. After school, she comes back with him. We pick him up from school, bring him back to the house. He has about an hour of, chilling out, and then, back, to the drawing board, and she's with him for another 2 hours after that. So he's got a very long day. And these people are from South Africa. They were with us in England, and we moved them to the US for these purposes.